The old Suzuki Margalla rattled down a dusty road into a secluded clearing in the Margalla Hills. Inside, Amir, Salman, and Fatima were full of excitement. As the late afternoon sun cast golden shadows through the pine trees, they quickly set up their tents. The air, crisp and fresh, smelled of pine and damp earth, a peaceful contrast to the terror that awaited them. Twilight descended, and a small campfire crackled and danced, illuminating their faces. They sat around it, their conversation a mix of old memories and laughter. For a while, the forest was a silent, peaceful guardian around them. The silence was the first thing to break. A low, barely audible whisper seemed to come from the trees. At first, they dismissed it as the wind, but it grew more distinct, a strange lullaby that was beautiful, yet unsettling. Laughter died on their lips, replaced by nervous glances and a shared feeling of dread. The lullaby grew louder, a chilling symphony of whispers that seemed to have no source. Fatima, sitting closest to the trees, seemed most affected. Her eyes, which had been full of life, now held a vacant, faraway look. The air grew cold, and the crackling of the fire did little to comfort them. Inside her tent, Fatima's terror peaked. A blue light from her phone illuminated her face, revealing eyes wide with a trance-like fear. The lullaby was a haunting roar in her ears, its melody possessing her. A single tear, born of a terror she couldn't comprehend, rolled down her cheek. The whispers from outside vibrated through the tent's fabric, and a faint, ethereal blue glow cast distorted shadows of the trees onto the tent. The whispers reached a fever pitch, and Amir and Salman scrambled out of their tents, their faces pale and gaunt. The campfire was a dying heap of embers. They watched in horror as Fatima, her face serene and terrifying, emerged from her tent. Her body swayed unnaturally to the unseen melody, her movements stiff and strange. She turned and began to walk deeper into the woods, leaving her friends to watch in powerless terror as she disappeared. The whispers were now a deafening roar. Amir and Salman, their faces pale with terror, scrambled out of their tents and saw Fatima standing a short distance away. Her eyes were wide and vacant, a serene yet terrifying smile on her face as she swayed gently. As she began to walk deeper into the dark, menacing woods, they ran after her, their flashlights cutting frantic paths through the darkness. The whispers turned malicious, mocking them with their eerie melody. The trees seemed to close in around them, their shadows twisting into monstrous shapes. They found her kneeling at the bank of the gurgling stream, which was now flowing with a black viscous liquid. She was staring at her reflection with an unsettling smile. As they reached for her, the whispers turned into a triumphant chorus that chilled them to the bone. They tried to grab her, but with a final eerie ripple, her reflection was all that remained. She was gone. Dawn broke, and the first light of the sun filtered through the trees, creating a peaceful atmosphere, but the terror of the night lingered. The stream was once again clear, flowing over smooth stones. In the small clearing, Fatima's tent and belongings remained, a stark reminder of her absence. Exhausted and distraught, Amir and Salman stumbled back to the car and drove away, leaving the serene but haunted woods behind them. Later that morning, Amir and Salman, tired and distraught, sat in a sterile police station, trying to explain the unexplainable to a skeptical officer. They described the whispers, the black liquid, and Fatima's disappearance. The officer, with a stern expression, listened with a mixture of disbelief and suspicion. He jotted down their incoherent story, drawing crude sketches of the black stream and a strange symbol Amir had described. Desperate for answers, they took the sketches to a disheveled professor of folklore. As he looked at their drawings, a look of profound recognition, mixed with fear and excitement, spread across his face. He pulled out an ancient leather-bound journal and showed them a matching sketch. With a trembling finger, he pointed to a passage, explaining the chilling legend behind the symbol and its connection to the whispers and Fatima's disappearance. The mystery of the woods was no longer just a terrifying story, but a horrifying reality.